We're showing the Microscribe 3D, which is an affordable 3D digitizing tool. It's a tool that allows animators, artists, 3D graphics people in the field of virtual reality or film and cinema to take any physical object, a model, a clay model, or a toy or a part, and turn it into a 3D computer model so that they can take a physical object and basically bring it into the computer. So it's sort of like a photocopier for a real physical object.
This is the Microscribe 3D from Immersion Corporation, and it really is a new way of digitizing objects to get wireframe models. The basic idea is in Jurassic Park, for instance, there are a lot of scenes with dinosaurs, animated dinosaurs. And in order to do those animation scenes, the animators had to create wireframe models of the dinosaurs in the first place. And that typically is the most time-intensive and most painstaking part of doing 3D graphics. So we presented here a way of quickly taking a physical object and just tracing its contours to come up with this wireframe model. And what I'm doing here is I'm just taking points along the cat and creating lines, and I'm putting these lines together to generate this model. So right now I have something called auto smoothing on. When I tap on the keyboard, I'm taking points and it's fitting a line to these points. But what auto smoothing does is that since I'm doing this kind of quickly and I'm sort of wavering a little bit, it actually smooths the line that I draw and evenly spaces 10 points across that line. So what I'm getting are 10 evenly spaced polygons. Now as I start to do the cheek of the cat, you'll start to very clearly see the contours, and it'll start to look like a cat. Another thing you can use with this is using it as an interactive, 3D interactive tool. And what I mean by that is right now our viewpoint is from out here looking in at the cat, but I can make it so that we're inside the tip of the stylus and change our viewpoint as we look at the cat. And as I do that, for instance, we can zoom in and we can zoom out. We can come over here and look at it from the right, look at it from the left side, come over the top. And this is very important also because this digitizing process is very interactive. You can look at it from all the different angles, make sure that it looks the way you want it to look. What I'm going to do now is that since this cat is symmetric, it actually is very simple. I did that in just a couple minutes, so I could just easily do the other side of the face. But if you had a more complex model that was symmetric, you can just do one half and mirror use the mirror image to reflect the other side. And so I'll show you how to do that very quickly. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a couple points on the plane of symmetry and mirror the cat about that plane. Another capability of this is that you can do crude grayscale rendering, so you can start to see what the cat will look like when you actually render it in your whatever rendering package you like to use. I can also change the lighting source direction. I can put the light in front of the cat, below the cat, to the right, or to the left. Now I'm going to quickly show the space shuttle some of the other features of the digitizing program. Again, all I'm going to do is just start off with the wing and take points along here and start tracing these parallel contours and generate polygons from one line to the previous line. You can see I'm starting to get a pretty good rendering of the space shuttle here. Another powerful function of this is that if you have some sort of radially symmetric objects, for instance like this cup, or these thrusters on the back of the engine, instead of doing the whole thruster around on every side, you can just trace a contour. I'm just going to trace one line along the contour and give it a center point and tell it to revolve about the center point to give me a perfectly circular object. So I've generated a perfectly circular thruster there. And again, I can move the view around to make sure it looks the way I want it to look from all the different directions. So once you're done with this, you have a wireframe model. You can save it in DXF format, which is the most common format for doing any kind of 3D graphics or rendering. You can port that into Alias, Softimage, Wavefront, or 3D Studio, and do all your, like I said, rendering or texture mapping.
The fact that this device is just a really aesthetic tool that's going to be sitting on their desk is important. But people are astounded by the device itself, and they're also astounded by how fast the process is for digitizing. They expect the digitizing process to be long and cumbersome, but we can create these models in just a couple minutes, and all of a sudden you've got really detailed computer models of things from a mechanical part to a dinosaur. There are people who pay, $1,000 a day to have things modeled for them, and now they can do it themselves. They're going to be saving money right away.